there's a lot of things that are going on that nobody, that's really out there.
Well, you know what, guys, we are in the moment, and one of the things I wanted to talk about was Vince McMahon. I guess he had banned the word or the term backbreaker.
It's ridiculous. It's like what's going on in our society, where they're cutting back. Society cut the Confederate flag. Come on now. I think it's ridiculous. What's next? All right, we can't use the term pile driver or what, single leg trip or something else. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with backbreaker.
You know, I totally agree with you. I heard this decree, and I was disgusted. I'm like, this is wrestling. This isn't tiddlywinks. You know, what's next? Body slam, headlock, neck breaker. I grew up where you heard all the big moves names, and now you don't hear them at all, and they're trying to replace them with, like, sugar-coated names, wrestling names, and I don't like it, and it's just, it really shows where wrestling is going today. Lance, your thoughts?
This is starting to remind me of just before the Attitude Era, when they were basically handed down a decree saying they were basically in competition with Disney, or some shit like that. And basically, what the hell's next? Are they going to say, oh, we're not even going to have winners and losers anymore. They're just going to stand in the ring and hold hands, or some shit like that. Sad thing is, I can actually see that happening.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Triple H, take over now, please. We don't need this dumb son of a bitch in power anymore.
Well, you know what? I think that's exactly what it's all about. I'm wondering if this is more of a control issue. I think Vince who's now been sitting in the back, who's pretty much given the power, or most of the power, to Stephanie and Triple H, feels like he's lost control. Joe, would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. The Vince of old will never go to say, okay, we're going to ban, that's like banning Austin's 316 and the Stunner. I think this is just Triple H and Stephanie trying to make the WWE look more PG and try to make it look more, susceptible for children and for kids to watch. Oh, we're not going to call it backbreaker. We're going to call it, not the front herder. It's just they have to do it some way to appease the politically correct morons who are out there. It's time for, like I said, it's time for wrestling to get serious. That's what's killing the business. It's not serious. No, everybody's tiptoeing. And I think our society is letting, again, idiots take away stuff that shouldn't be taken away. Lance, I'm sorry, Rick, but I got to ask Lance this, and it all really boils down to even the Confederate issue. Lance, you've watched the Dukes of Hazzard, correct?
Oh, hell yeah.
Daisy Duke was our role model. Nowhere in that show was ever racist.
No.
So what does the Confederate flag on the General Lee have to do with being racism? Nothing. The show was not racist. So it's a symbol that they want to pull out. WWE is doing the same thing with these words that they feel like it's inappropriate. Backbreaker, pile driver. Come on. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, Rick. I'm off that tirade now.
It's all right. And that's, believe it or not, is a promo for our up-and-coming show, Real World Rants. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to be posting that very soon. So, but let's move along, guys. We know that Tyson Kid recently came out of a surgery from his neck injury where he received that muscle buster botch from Samoa Joe. And, wow. After receiving several staples in his neck, he also had to put 2 screws and a steel rod, in his neck. And think we can safely say that his wrestling career is over, guys. Lance, would you agree?
Well, if it's not over, it's substantially shortened.
Well, let me tell you this. Even he said in his tweet, only 5% of the people survive the surgery. So go ahead. What else would you think?
Well, because a lot of people have came back, but it just depends, like I've said before, even regarding the Daniel Bryan thing. When you have neck surgery, your neck either gets weaker or your neck gets stronger. In this case, if his neck gets weaker, it's over. If it gets stronger, it's shortened. That's the bottom line.
Joe, your thoughts?
His career's over. There's no way you can come back. A neck injury is something not to take lightly. A neck injury is something that, once that happens, literally you're putting your life in danger by even stepping in the ring trying to accomplish something. Daniel Bryan, came back a bit. You saw how he had to quickly leave again. And it's not something that you really want to go and say, hey, I'm going to play around with this. Any sort of injury like this, especially something that deals with nerves, deals with the spine, neck injuries, anything, is very dangerous, and you do not want to play around with it. Can he come back in another capacity? Maybe a commentator, maybe a teacher at the fitness center or the performance center. Anything but an active pro wrestler, because the first move somebody does on you that requires you to either fall on your head or a snapmare or something, it's going to pull that neck. Right now, his career's over. And you know why? I'm going to go into why his career's over. I blame the WWE. That's right. I blame the WWE for encouraging their wrestlers or not discouraging them from slowing down. How many times have we seen on Raw and on other pay-per-views or Smackdown how they go full tilt? They go through all these exaggerated moves. Neville, we've seen him do all these flips. Ziggler does all these flips and moves. Kofi Kingston. These guys never throttle down. They go full 100% throughout the shows, and they continue going. It's that risk that's going to shorten all these guys' careers. That's why you look at Flair, look at Hogan, look at Macho Man, look at all those guys from the past. You could say maybe their repertoire was limited. No, they knew how to pace themselves. That's why they had long careers. These guys, if you notice today's wrestlers, are so spot monkey orientated that they don't slow down, and that's why they're getting hurt and they're forced to retire.
That makes a very good point. Look at Daniel Bryan, another spot monkey, if you will. Great wrestler. He also rose so quickly, but again, he had to retire early, or many believe that he's in retirement. So some think he's going to come back. I'm sorry. Again, I think he's gone. I'm sorry, but it's that's Daniel Bryan and possibly even Tyson Kid, both in retirement this year alone. Lance, your thoughts?
Yeah, like Joe said, it's basically a career ender, but it can go one of two ways. Y'all mentioned guys like Kid and Daniel Bryan, who are basically had neck injuries and ended their careers. But y'all didn't mention guys who had severe injuries and came back from them. Namely, two pretty big names. Austin basically broke his neck, came back, had a good 4 or 5 year extra career, and somebody who had a broken neck before he even came into the professional wrestling business, Mr. Kurt Angle, who kind of needs to retire right now. But
this is true. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, but don't forget that Daniel Bryan already injured his neck once.
Yeah, which I think Bryan's. There's about a 99% chance he's done, but there's that 1% he wants to come back.
Now, and here's the thing with Austin as an exception. He knew enough to do limited work in the ring, which was all those segments of attacking Vince. Then he took time off to fully heal, and when he did come back, he still did his routines and everything, but he slowed down, and then he got out of the business. So, again, he was smart. He didn't go full tilt like these guys. When he got injured, he slowed down. He realized, and everybody in the company realized, because Vince was in charge back then. Vince said, hey, you know what? We need to keep this guy on TV but how can we do it without him hurting himself more? And we loved those skits where Vince was in the hospital getting treated, and Stone Cold says, well, I'll take it from here, nurse, and we saw how funny that was. So they used him in the proper capacity, and that was Vince McMahon. Look at Triple H's administration. Since he's been in power, supposedly, how many guys have literally, have been injured to the point where they can't come back, or they have to take long periods to rest and heal? A pretty good number.
True, but if you also know that that was also Vince has also been in control most of that time as well, and from what I understand, Vince did a lot of pushing too. It's not just Triple H. Would you agree to that too as well? Because I hear Vince's name being thrown around a lot, especially with the CM Punk, who was constantly being pushed, and it was always, Vince, I gotta relax, and it was always Vince being when can you get back to work? When can you get back to work? When can you get back to work?
Yeah, I mean, the day after his knee surgery, Vince called him and said, hey, champ, when can you come back?
So, while I do agree that in today's wrestling, there is a lot more injuries, but as you said before, in today's wrestling, there are a lot more spot monkeys, where back in the classic or the golden era, so to speak, there's not a lot of spot monkeys. You don't really see as many of them, with the exception of maybe the Lucha or the lightweights.
Well,
even the heavyweights do a lot of spot monkey. You can see them doing a lot of big moves. Well,
you got to remember back then, everybody knew their place, and they knew exactly what they could do and could not do. You wasn't going to see Hulk Hogan doing luchador moves. He knew kick to the face, leg drop, Hulk up was going to be the best thing for him. Macho was an aerialist. Steamboat was an aerialist. Snuka was an aerialist. But they didn't go all out like you see these guys today. Hell, Scott Steiner was an aerialist, man. You guys remember Frankensteiner?
Yeah.
They all knew their place. And that's the thing. They knew enough where we can do this and throttle back. If you look at look back at those moves. Look back in the 80s matches, and you'll see they do a couple moves, boom, slow down, go back into it, slow down. These guys today, they go full tilt. And my other biggest complaint is how these guys can do 50 finishers and everybody's still kicking out. Okay, kick out of one finisher, a weak finisher. I can understand that. But the kick out from a pile driver, stunner, a power bomb, and all that, come on. That's where people start getting injured because they're doing so many devastating maneuvers.
And honestly, I blame Vince for that for one reason. His golden boy started that damn trend.
And that is the truth. If you look back at John Cena, who was, again, I'm a fan of John Cena. I do like John Cena only because of his work ethic.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know I'm not a big Cena fan, but I will give him credit where it's due.
He is the one who has been known to kick out of finishers, won't submit, and unfortunately, it's been done before, years before, but he has made that a trend. And it's really not a healthy thing for the business.
Nope. It's what it is, guys? The surprise factor is gone. It's when Jake hit it, and I know fans are going to probably say, oh, he's going into his traditional Jim Cornette speeches. When Jake did the signal, did the DDT, nobody was kicking out of that. Macho dropped the elbow. Hogan dropped the leg. They build it up to that moment that made it special. Today it's like, okay, we've seen every move you could throw at somebody, and they still kick out of it. Now, in the real world, if you hit someone with a pile driver, I guarantee they're not getting up for a 2 count.
They're going into traction.
They're not even getting up for a 2,000 count. It's, make wrestling believable. And that's unfortunate that it's not.
All right. Well, let's move along to our final subject of the night. And we all watched Raw last night, and of course, where we saw Brock Lesnar tear the red caddy apart. And of course, I watched the video where he threw the chair. He threw the rear car door, into the fans, and one video got real viral saying where a part of the car door hit the fans, and I'm sorry, I did not see that. Joe, you know what video I'm talking about. We have it over on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And from what I saw, Joe, the door itself flung off to the left and hit the lighting posts, and the interior just kind of like drifted off to the right, and a part of the door just kind of like hit the ring barrier, and the fans picked it up and started waving over their head. So if anybody got hit, it's because the fans picked up and started waving it around. What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have allowed Brock Lesnar to throw anything. You know, that's one thing. That's like Goldberg throwing, breaking his arm or cutting his arm and cutting his deltoid on that limousine that had the NWO on it. So, real bright moment there. In this case, with Brock, it looked convincing and damn straight. It looked good. I mean, he tore apart this thing. He really got in there, and he did what he had to do. But in my opinion, too, I think, it was a little bit too much. Throwing the thing, everybody probably tensed up, and when they saw that coming, they probably said, "Oh crap! Here comes Lawsuit City."
You know what? If he had thrown that thing and it just went curved off the wrong thing, and it did go in the crowd, oh my God, yeah, there would have been a few lawsuits.
Now, fans, again, and I hate coming back to it. Fans, we live in a society that fans are extremely stupid. So, in this case, they're going off on this tirade about how Brock hit a fan. Brock hit the fan. No, he did not. If you look at it, the thing sailed off. You know what? I had to look at it twice, because from the angle that they had live on Raw, it did look like he threw it towards the fans. And as soon as I saw that flying toward the fans, I was like, oh, this is not going to go over well. But then you see it angles off, hits the side, and the fan is picking up the damn thing like a trophy. So, is it Brock's fault that these fans are morons? No. Is it Brock's fault that, is it WWE's fault for allowing a guy who's literally dangerous picking up something that can literally, kill someone? Yeah. But hey, live and learn. I think Brock you're not going to see Brock throw any more doors. Now you got me saying chairs. So I think they learned that lesson, but still, it was a great segment. I love the way he destroyed that car. I love the way he destroyed J&J. Hopefully we don't see them again. And I think Triple H set up Seth Rollins, it was splendid. I enjoyed it.
All right, Lance, over to you. Your thoughts.
Well, first off, anybody remember, this is not the first time they've had legal issues about Brock throwing shit. Let's not forget the monitor incident when he first got, quote, suspended.
Oh, yeah.
That apparently hit somebody, and he had a lawsuit on that. But just remember, Brock didn't hit the fan. CM Punk hit a fan. Brock threw some shit, but there's that. But, it's just bad planning on WWE's part. One, Brock's dangerous when you let him break shit. That's all I gotta say about that. And, yeah, Seth Rollins is royally screwed. Come, what the hell's the next pay-per-view? Battleground?
Battleground.
You can tell how much I'm looking forward to it. I can't remember the damn name.
Anyway, well, guys, I think we're going to wrap up this edition in a moment. And before we do, guys, I do have to make an announcement. HWR is going to be taking a short break. This will be our last In the Moment for the next couple of weeks. We will be making posts on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And Will from the Bay Area will be here doing the weekly In the News. So make sure you check him out over on SoundCloud.com/HWR Show. Joe, where can everyone find you at?
Well, fans can find me on Facebook at Joseph Knight Manager. You can also follow me on Twitter at JKnightCWA. You can also follow the CWA, Classic Wrestling Association, on our website, classicwrestlingassociation.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at also classicwrestlingassociation.com. We have Summer Bash 2 coming out. It'll be at the Boonton Elks Lodge in Boonton, New Jersey, Saturday, August 29th. It'll be a show that fans will really enjoy. And from my understanding, I think we're going to have our own Hardcore Wrestling Radio's host there.
Yes, well, yeah, I am going to be there. August 29th, I cannot wait. Me and Ms. Jack Shit will be there.
And for this, fans, this is going to be the first show, and I'm working out the details. Will be a live HWR show right there by ringside, and the staff is welcome to come on. This is going to be shown on Skype. It's going to be Rick hosting it with myself there live during the whole show. We're going to see if we can get Lance on the call, and maybe Will, and maybe the whole gang, and it'll be a fun night for all of us.
All right, and we are looking forward to that. And guys, remember that's August 29th. We'll be making posts over on our Facebook page again. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. We're the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, where do we find you? What do you got going on?
I'm at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, rants, whatever else I feel like doing. And also on Wednesday nights at 7 Central Time, figure out whatever it is in your time zone. I do live shows. It's Lance Moss and Lance Moss TV and Friends. I never know who the hell I'm going to have on, but yeah, we just pick a topic, talk about it, and then could be an hour, could be 2, who knows. But yeah, everybody's welcome to come on. And hit me on Twitter, it's at Lance Moss TV.
All right. So for everyone here, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.